inches. I hit it!
You hit it.
Hello, you home-free family viewers. This video is about laminate flooring. Now, we've split our content for this laminate flooring into two different videos. This one is the how to install laminate flooring. The next one that'll come out next week is the behind the scenes, how we installed it, and it shows how our kids helped us install it and how that all went for us. Enjoy! So I'm about 3/4 of the way done with this room. And I wanted to give you guys a couple step-by-steps of how to lay laminate flooring. So the first thing you do is sweep up your floor and get everything as clean as possible. You also want to check for high spots. Your floor needs to be pretty flat. The nice thing about this is you're putting a pad down and then some thick flooring, so it doesn't even necessarily need to be perfect, but it needs to be close. Anyway, so this silver material you see here is called underlayment, and you cover your whole area where the floor is going with that first. That does two things: a moisture barrier and a sound barrier. It's a little bit like padded. This comes in lengths, so you're going to have a seam from piece to piece that you need to tape together. Most underlayment comes already with tape on it. This one didn't. They say that you want your seams of your tape to go opposite with the seams of your flooring. Then the next step is to start on one corner of the room. If you want to show that corner over there, Sarah. You pick one side of the room, and that's how you start. And there's 2 points here that I need to emphasize. One is, which way do you want your pieces to go? Which the general rule I've always heard is the longest length of the room is that's the way you want your planks to go, but it's just preference. So the other thing you need to decide is there's seams in these planks, and one way to do this is to have a full-length plank, half a plank, full-length plank, half a plank, so that your seams are perfectly even throughout the room. That's much harder, and I personally don't like that look as much. I like the random look. The way I did it is I started with a full piece. When I got to the end of my length over here, I would have to cut a piece to end the row, and the other side of that piece would start my next row over here, and that's what gave me the random look that I like better. I missed the first step too, by the way. In our case, it's like 40 degrees outside, and this laminate flooring can swell and shrink. So you have to put your flooring inside your home room temperature for like 24 hours or something like that. It says on the box. And then you're just cruising. It gets a little bit tricky when you have cutouts to make, but between a miter saw and a table saw and this little Dremel, you can cut anything you need. It goes super easy. Some of the other cuts I've got to do is like for vents, heating vents, but that's all pretty straightforward. So let me show you how you click in one of these lengths. Let me see. Get out of here.
He just likes to follow wherever you go.
He does. Just like 2 other little animals. So to click this in place, you have these grooves.
Wednesday. Go lay down.
Go lay down.
Wednesday.
Lay down.
That's fine. Just pick a dang spot.
So you have different grooves on both sides. I'm sure that there's names for these that we'll write below here or something, because I don't know it off the top of my head. But this slat is my wall side of the slat where I started, and this one, I think that matters. Honestly, I just did it without thinking, honestly, but I think it does matter. This side's going to be your wall side. This side is your room side that comes this way. And they fit into each other with this slat and this smaller slat here. So to start putting in your piece, you're going to first put it in the slat here and push it all the way over to your first piece that you've done here. And then you kind of bring it down and wiggle. Sometimes you'll need to tap it. On this one I am going to have to tap it in. And then you can see it kind of dropped in place right there. So that's the tongue and groove of that is actually what it's called. I just remembered. The tongue and groove of that is what clicks together and holds this. Makes all the flooring one solid piece that floats on top of your subfloor. So once that's clicked together, I still have a gap right here. So I'm going to come right here with my little laminate floor tool, and I'm going to tap it in. Now you can see here it's closed up that gap. The other thing I'm going to do is tap this direction. Just to make sure that all my grooves are really tight. So that's how you add a piece into the middle of the flooring. Now to start a piece over here, again, the tongue and groove fit in together just like that. You want to space this away from the wall because again, this flooring will swell and shrink based on heat and humidity and all sorts of stuff like that. So you can buy these laminate spacers. I'm sure there's a bunch of different kinds. I place this roughly half an inch or quarter of an inch or so off the wall with those spacers. Which, by the way, one thing I forgot to say here is when you're starting your wall piece, you need to cut that. Even if you're doing a full-length piece, you need to cut off the tongue and groove off of that side so that it sits up tight there. And then it's super repetitive from there. You just keep on going. For the main body of the room where it's just full-length pieces, it goes really quick. Every time you have to cut pieces to fit, it takes a little bit of time. And here's the final product. It turned out great. Please like and subscribe. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below and we'll answer them.